Now, a day after India conveyed its concerns to the United States of America on the passage of USS John Pual Johns through India's exclusive economic zone, Pentagon has defended the move by calling it, quote-unquote, an innocent passage consistent with international law. Now, Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby has said the operation was not directed against any nation. Listen.
Was within within its exclusive economic zone, was conducted with against normal operations, and all consistent with international law. This is again part of our responsibility, really, to uphold the freedom of navigation and the rights and freedoms of lawful uses of the sea recognized in international law. And as I think we've said, when we unveiled the Freedom of Navigation report a few weeks back, everybody, when we talk about freedom of navigation operations, you tend to get, we all tend to get focused on, well, it's against a nation state. It's not against a nation state. It's for a principle, and we do it all around the world. It's not just something that we tend to talk about it in regards to China and their excessive maritime claims, but it isn't all just about China. It's something we do not against something, but for something, and we do it all around the world.
Kirby started the response by saying that he will not speak about specific communications with India on this issue. But about the operations in Maldives, he added that it is the responsibility of US to uphold the freedom of navigation and lawful use of the sea recognized in international law. Pentagon equated the freedom operation in India to the operations as well it conducts to challenge China's claims on maritime boundaries, and this particularly in the South China Sea. At this point, it's certainly difficult to fathom as to why the United States has equated India, who is a US ally, with China, especially at a time when US-Indian maritime cooperation is at an all-time high. In a similar operation, USS John Pual Johns carried out navigational rights and freedoms in Maldives as well. Jeff Smith, who specializes in South Asia as a research fellow at the Heritage Foundation, took to Twitter to emphasize how this is a routine event, while also adding that US has been conducting a phone-op in India's EEZ almost every year. He also shared a link to official annual Freedom of Navigation reports by US Defense Department. Many have criticized the unexpected patrol by US Navy. US may not have violated any international law here, but it has violated India's rules as far as India's exclusive economic zone are concerned and passage through India's EEZ. Now, after publicly admitting that a military ship entered India's EEZ without consent, US Navy went ahead to say that the operation was intended as a challenge to India's, quote, excessive maritime claims. According to an official statement, the US 7th Fleet acknowledged that on April 7th, guided missile destroyer USS John Pual Johns carried out a freedom of navigation operation near India's Lakshadweep Islands. Following this, the Ministry of External Affairs in India had lodged concern over this navigation operation by US Navy, conducted by US Navy without the permission of New Delhi. However, we must remind our viewers that Pentagon has now come out with a statement and called their Navy's action, quote, an innocent passage consistent with international law, not directed against any nation. Now, meanwhile, WION has posted questions to the Pentagon about this operation. However, we are yet to receive any answers from the US Department of Defense. We will keep our viewers posted on all updates on this story. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.